Let's take a quick break to hear from one of our sponsors,
Love.
BetterHelp. If you're searching for a therapist, you need to check out BetterHelp. BetterHelp is professional counseling done securely online. With BetterHelp, you can start communicating with your own licensed therapist through phone or video in just 48 hours, and the service is available worldwide, since I know a lot of you viewers are not just based in the US, so this is a good addition for you to know. So since it doesn't matter where you are, BetterHelp is there for you. Just visit betterhelp.com/aftertheisland. That's better, HELP, to join the over 1 million people who have used BetterHelp. And you can get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/aftertheisland. That's 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/aftertheisland. We love therapy. I've been using it. I think I've really been benefiting from it. It's just really nice to be able to talk to someone that's unbiased and just tell them everything that's going on and get like a professional opinion on what you might be going through in life. I think it just really helps.
Just remember, you can't love someone else until you love yourself.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to After the Island. I'm Elizabeth.
I'm Alex.
And we have Alana and Charlie today.
Hey.
Hi, guys.
How are you guys feeling out of the villa in civilization?
I'm just starting to feel like a human again. You know, it's pretty nice.
It's definitely kind of like a shell shock getting back into reality, just seeing everything that you missed and just being back in like having somewhat of a normal routine. So it's definitely a little different.
Right. Did you guys get your phones back today? Like, when did you first get technology back?
We got them back last night, and we were literally, everyone was just sitting on their phones. It was like kind of sad. I was like, damn, I miss the no phone thing, truthfully. Yeah. I kind of would like to just throw my phone into a lake or something.
That's how we were. We like loved it. And we actually all waited like a day, or they waited a day to give us our phones. So we had like one night of everyone out to like kind of drink and have fun before we got into the phones, but it was very overwhelming.
Yeah.
We also had that.
Oh, good. Okay, I'm glad. So are you guys in Hawaii right now?
Yeah, we leave today.
How's like are you at a resort? Have you been swimming? Like, what have you guys been doing?
We've just been really just spending time. A lot of us just been spending time with each other the last moments, or I guess you want to say that we're here. We've been outside a little bit, just walking around, but for the most part, everybody kind of been in their rooms, just like doing nothing, watching TV.
I was gonna say, do you find yourself like looking at people? You're like, hey, can I pull you for a chat really quick?
We joke about it a lot still, but
like feel like you're being filmed.
Yeah, definitely. Still.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a weird transition. You guys are probably going to be like touching your mics, like grabbing for them.
Going like this.
So funny.
It's so funny
that we had the same problem. I was like, I don't know how to be a real human anymore.
But I always just felt like there were cameras watching. But my first question is for you, Alana. Did you know what time you were going to be entering the villa? Like, I feel like I would have loved to have seen you be an OG girl. Like, I think that you brought so much energy that I wish you had come in right from the beginning.
Yes.
Me too. let them know, because no, I mean, honestly, I had no idea. And I was waiting for 6 weeks. So it's, you know, with the restrictions and stuff, and like, you know, I think it's a puzzle piece that I'm a puzzle piece in the grand scheme of things, right? So it's like, yeah, they told me maybe 4 days prior. But they so much stuff to work out, you know, with personalities and, you know, who would be interested in who and whatever. But yeah, I think it would have been cool to be an OG.
Well, we loved your positivity, your confidence literally like showed right through the screen, and it was so beautiful to watch. I know so many girls look up to you. Like, how did you feel walking in? I know you talked about it a little bit, but I want to hear more because it was so nice to hear you talk about it. It was just so relatable.
Yeah, the body positivity stuff.
Yeah.
I wasn't, it's actually a message that I wanted to get out, but I didn't know how it would be possible. But they just caught me in a moment when I was talking to Andre and Will, and they asked me about it, you know, and I'm just really glad that I could spread the message because, you know, I've dealt with body dysmorphia and like eating disorders and stuff like that in the past, especially from modeling. And everyone does. I feel like these days, like we just have such a hard time with comparing ourselves. At least everyone I know, Even men, you know, it's just like there are unrealistic beauty standards right now, and editing and all of these things go into, you know, social media. And, you know, I think being a real person is nice. So I'm trying to let the natural thing flow.
Yeah, of course. And that really showed, and we loved hearing that. And we saw even the positive, you know, reaction from everyone around us, the audience, you know, whether it was on Twitter or Reddit or Instagram, like people were so in love with that, that you could be so real and so upfront about it and be like, you know what, this is who I am and I love who I am. And like, we love that. And you know, the social standards are so, you know, ridiculous these days, that it was so refreshing to have that and have someone, you know, where we could feel like that was something we truly believed in. And then, you know, like switching over to you, Charlie, was this something that attracted you to Alana right away? And like,
Uh,
how did that kind of come about?
Honestly, what attracted me to Atlanta is just,
Elena, sorry.
yeah.
It's okay. I
My
heard
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, what attracted me to her, because during my day with Ellie, I was kind of eavesdropping over when she was having her date or whatever, and it's just I listened to her conversation, and it's just she sounded so intriguing, you know, and obviously she's very beautiful. So, and then the guys when they came back, they were saying how great her conversation was, so they just reconfirmed what I had already overheard anyway, and so just somebody who has good conversation and, you know, who's obviously very gorgeous, you know, that naturally made me want to get to know her even more. So that's was the initial, how the initial attraction started. And then, yeah, I pulled her for a chat shortly after, or the next day, I think.
And it just all came about from there, which was so nice. But even taking it one step before then, you know, we have you coming back to the villa with Cash being, you know, the only Casa Amor guy coming back. And we as viewers kind of see the downfall of you guys not clicking. And I feel like we viewed it, you know, on our end of you guys not clicking because it felt like she was not over Cinco and that the feelings were still there and that you couldn't move forward with it almost because it felt like that was not being let go. How did it kind of go down, you know, in your opinion,
eyes,
in your
yeah.
eyes? Yeah.
Yeah, that did have a lot to do with it. Like I mentioned to Cass before bringing me back, like I'm very confident in myself, and you know, I've been through a lot in life, so I've dealt with pretty much almost everything. But you never really, until you're actually thrown in a situation, that's when you can really know how you're going to handle it. And like me and Cinco, we had like a couple chats, and everything was cool. Like he was open and honest with me, and I felt like I was the same with him. And you know, he told me some things as far as like she was like saying that he wasn't trying even still with her and stuff like that. So obviously, all those things play into like your psyche when you're making a decision. And so it was hard to make the decision, and I could understand why people love Cass. So it definitely it wasn't easy, you know, to make the decision. And I just hope that, I guess, everything that I said wasn't really took in vain, or people don't really feel like I just said it just to get back into the villa, because I know that's kind of like the going thing right now. But I really felt like I did have like a real connection with Cass, and it happened so quick. Like we opened up to each other so quickly. So it definitely was. It wasn't easy doing that. So
I'm not gonna lie, we were kind of mad at you at first, but
yeah.
we did talk to Cash, and she gave us the other perspective, because that's why we started this, to get each and every perspective, because you always know there's two sides to a story and then the truth, you know? So after we had spoken to her, she kind of was like, I don't understand where all of this like backlash is coming from, because he made a decision and it was what was best for him. And she was like, and I was cool with it. Like we all worked out in the end. So I loved hearing that. And are you guys on good terms? Like you guys are cool, right?
Yeah, we actually talked yesterday. We FaceTimed yesterday. We had a pretty lengthy conversation, and everything is fine. But again, it was my first time recoupling, and it just so happened to be like the most dramatic recoupling ever. So I'm like, it was kind of, again, it was like a do or die situation. You know, I knew what was the potential fallout from my decision. And, you know, I still made the decision. Again, you know, it wasn't easy, but hey, I got to deal with the consequences at this point. But yeah.
And I think that spoke to kind of why you guys were saved as a couple when it came down to it with the potential, because it felt more, you know, real and believable because you had made that hard decision, you know, with going with Alana. And I think the audience like knew that like it was a tough decision. So if you were willing to, you know, take that on, then there must actually be something there between you guys.
For sure. Yeah, everybody in the villa seen how hard we worked to get to the point to where we were at, even to this point. It hasn't been easy. It wasn't easy in the villa. We definitely struggle sometimes to open up to each other, and I think that kind of showed a lot of the times. But I feel like that's as raw as it gets, because I feel like we could have easily just faked it and came up with some false conversation. But she's real. You know, if she's feeling a certain way, she's gonna let you know, that's for sure. And I feel like I'm glad she didn't fake it, and I got to see the real her inside the villa, and definitely learning more as this journey outside, for sure.
This is kind of a question for both of you. When did you both know that each other was it? Like, what was that moment that, Elena, you were kind of like, oh yeah, I'm into him. Like, I wouldn't be mad about coupling up with him.
That's tough because there wasn't like a specific moment. I feel like even when we started speaking, like I had thought that he was really reserved, and I know he is, but like I didn't know that he could hold a conversation as well as he can. Sorry, it's the truth. And you know, all the conversations flowed really well, especially initially. And I just thought we had similar interests and things like that. You know, I was truthfully a little shocked that he chose me over Cash in the moment. But I was really grateful for it, and I'm happy. We've been through some ups and downs, but we're working on it.
What about you, Charlie?
I think I had this conversation with her, like when she pulled me, well, when we talked the night after the whole Fashion Nova thing, I wasn't, like I told her I was I was gonna like leave the situation alone and just completely focus on Cass. But when she pulled me, I was like, man, like, okay, like I had to really think about it again. I'm like, okay, well, do I want to explore this option? And then two, so it was right up until we had to make the decision before I made my decision. Because, you know, something like that isn't easy, because you have two great people and you're trying to decide which one you feel is going to be the best fit for you. So like, it was kind of like up to the 11th hour, really right before. But that last talk, when we talked that following morning, again, that's kind of brought her back into the picture again, because like I said, I really was just going to, you know, let her explore the new guys and sort of explore those options. So yeah, that's what.
That makes sense. Okay, so Charlie, we already knew before you coming in, you made it clear you were like, I'm going for Cash, I'm interested in Cash, and
Right.
you go in as Casamore. But Alana, you're in lockdown still, and you're watching the show, you know, throughout the season. Who were the people you were interested in that either like left or it changed along the way? Like, what was your like process as you were watching? Like, I want to know your thoughts of like, oh, first I like this person, but then I kind of was like off it, and then I was interested in them, and then by the time I entered, I was interested in them, and then we talked to the no. Like, I want to know how that kind of strung along.
Okay, well, I'm gonna be honest here. So here we go. From the first day, I was like, Josh, oh my God, Josh, he's so gorgeous and blah, 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 you know, whatever. And then what turned me off from him was that challenge where they like kind of spilled the tea on people. And his was like, I don't know, it was something like he slept with a girl and her best friend or something, but I thought it was his girlfriend at the time. And he slept with her best friend. And I was like, ew, I was super turned off. Then Will came in and I was like, oh, Will, you spicy man. And I liked him for a while. And obviously I went on a date with him, and he's a doll, but he's with Kira. And then I was interested in Giovanni, and I was like kind of gunning. I was like hoping that he would be there when I got there, but then he left. He just seemed really funny, and I like the goofy stuff, which is also why I liked Jeremy, because he's actually very goofy. And I mean, literally everyone's attractive. I didn't think of Charlie as an option because I had known what Cash went through, and I didn't even want to go there. And of course, here we are. But like, he was literally he was not an option for me. I was like, no, I saw what happened to her. I'm not going for her man. And Cash, I'm so sorry.
Now.
Yeah, and honestly, like we had a conversation in the villa too, because that was one of my concerns. I was like, well, I've heard you mention all these guys, and I wasn't even on the radar. So obviously, it did raise some questions with me. But I feel like anybody would, you wasn't interested in me from the beginning type thing. It was like, okay, but like you said, look where we at now. So
Yeah. So speaking of looking what we have now, what is your status? That everyone's asking, are you guys dating? But we know you've like literally only known each other for what, 2 weeks?
2 weeks. So we're not in a relationship now. We still have a lot to work on as far as communication is concerned. That is our biggest struggle. But we'll play it by ear, I guess, and see if we can make it work, I guess.
Are you guys both in LA?
I'm in San Diego.
I'm in LA.
Oh, you are. Okay. So
Okay,
not
so
too
not
far.
far.
But I know,
Yeah.
I feel like everyone's question is like, will you try to pursue this, once you get home? Like, will you guys go on some dates or try to get to know each other more?
Yeah, I definitely think we have some issues that we have to talk about first before we move forward. But the dates are definitely in the cards. I don't know what Atlanta's thinking, but it's definitely my mind hasn't changed. But again, after we have a few talks,
we have to talk first.
Yeah.
We'll we can reconvene in a day or an hour. Literally, we just had a fight, so.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Guys, make
Happens.
up. Make up.
This is
Like,
like
this
really
is real life.
timing.
Yeah.
Question. Make up your fight. What's your favorite thing about each other?
With Alana, I just see her personality. She definitely, just the fact that she's trying and she's been opening up more. Because like, I'm not gonna lie, that was like one of my biggest concerns when I was there in the villa. Because I mean, you recouple with somebody and then instantly you're like, man, like they're not really open. And it raised some concerns with me. I was like, man, well, is she really into me and stuff like that? So I feel like naturally anybody would have those reservations, but the fact that she has been opening up is just, it kind of makes it eases my mind a little bit more. So yeah, I like when somebody opens up because I'm not really the talkative person all the time. So when I'm having to put in overtime and talking, there's a little bit.
Yeah, I honestly really struggled to open up in the villa. Like I went through, I don't know, I was having kind of a hard time in there, truthfully. I loved it. Like, I'm so grateful for the experience, but like internally I was having some issues with like fully opening up while being watched, I think. And I didn't, I am pretty open, but I think, how the conversations go, they're like, we have to frame it to be certain ways. So we would get these moments where the conversation would flow really well, but then for some of the chats when I would pull, it was just there was something a little like uneasy about it. So, as time progressed, it got better.
Mhm.
So, just trying to steal moments and stuff.
Yeah.
I was
feel
gonna
like
say
we
it probably affected you too, being in lockdown for as long as you were. Like I was losing my mind and I started, so I can't imagine being in lockdown for that long. Like I would be like, I can't speak to anybody.
I was like such a loner, and I was kind of like starting to dig it. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like I'd read every day. I finished like 1 million books. I was like, I have my shows. And then all of a sudden I'm like literally like, okay, go. And I went in with all these people with huge personalities, and I'm just like, where's my place here? Like, it's just, you have to navigate it. I came so late. So it was just like, it was just trying to navigate everything and, not hurt anyone and, try to openly communicate and all of these things. So it was a struggle, but I enjoyed it and I learned a lot.
No, it totally makes sense, especially because when you're going in and you're like, I have this big personality. Obviously, you all got picked to go on a reality show, but when you get thrown in with all the other big personalities, it's kind of like you either really step forward or you hide in the back. Like I hid in the back for weeks.
I hid in the back a little bit.
Did you?
So I totally get what you mean.
There's like a TikTok about that, and it's like me around people with like smaller personalities, and you're like, woo, and then they show you like, and then it's like me around people with big personalities, and you're like I definitely like do that a little. I think everybody does,
Yeah, just giving people, like, also giving other people their space, because I felt like I was, even though I had every right to be there, it kind of felt like I was walking into like someone else's house, and like, it's like this family, and I'm the new chick. But
yeah, I think you guys came in way too late in the season. Like it came in like you came in so towards the end that it was like it felt like you guys came in the season wrapped, and that's another reason why I wish the order of which you had come in would have been different, because I just think you would have played so much of a bigger part and could have had so much of a better story overall for people to watch and have viewers see.
Yeah, I definitely think that played a big part, especially for me, because it kind of take me a second to get comfortable around like a group, especially a big group of people that I don't know. So really, by the time I really felt comfortable and was actually showing like my other side, the goofy side of me, the season was already wrapping up. So it is unfortunate that I came in at the end.
he had like a week of like dancing on the table, then being like totally himself, and then they're like, okay, go home.
Hi.
Bye. Thanks for coming in.
But speaking of laughter, Elena, has Charlie implemented any humor into your relationship, since you said that's one thing that you needed?
Yeah, he has. He definitely has. We open up. Well, we've opened up a lot. We've definitely, it's a lot easier now, truthfully. So there's humor. We laugh.
If you're tired of always having to figure out what to eat, then you need to check out HelloFresh. HelloFresh cuts out stressful meal planning and grocery store trips. Their meal kits allow you to have dinner on the table in just about 30 minutes, plus the produce in their kits gets from the farm to your door in less than a week. Instead of searching for fresh, high-quality ingredients, it's simply delivered to you. Last night, Alex and I watched the finale together. We did Italian night, so we made pasta. It was great. They gave us all the ingredients right here. It had my whole apartment smelling amazing, too. It was like we didn't even need to have a candle because it just all smelled like Italian-ness.
Yum, I'm Italian.
And we'd love Italian. And this summer isn't over yet, so if you're looking for easy grilling, you can get HelloFresh's grilling bundles, burger packs, surf and turf packs, and more. Just go to HelloFresh.com/AfterTheIsland14. Use code AfterTheIsland14 for up to 14 free meals plus free shipping. That's HelloFresh.com/AfterTheIsland14 and use code AfterTheIsland14 for up to 14 free meals plus free shipping.
And one more message from our sponsors, Nutrafol. Did you know that 30 million women are impacted by weak or thinning hair? If you're one of them, you're not alone, and there's a solution you can trust to deliver results. Nutrafol. The supplement supports healthy hair growth from within by targeting the 5 root causes of thinning: stress, hormones, environment, nutrition, and metabolism. I say it all the time. I love Nutrafol. Take it every morning, and I've actually been noticing my hair getting a little bit thicker, which is very exciting because I had a traumatic hair experience a couple of years ago. But healthier hair growth takes time. It could take up to 3 to 6 months to experience the change you're looking for. So you can grow thicker, healthier hair and support our show by going to Nutrafol.com and entering the promo code AfterTheIsland to save $15 off your first month subscription. This is their best offer anywhere, and it's only available to U.S. customers for a limited time. Plus, free shipping on every order. Get $15 off at Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code AfterTheIsland.
Being in the villa, who did you guys think was going to win? Or who were you guys wanting to win?
I knew Olivia and Corey were gonna win.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, you
Yeah, I
could
knew-
sense it.
Well,
I
it was
just knew.
between Olivia and Corey, or obviously if Shannon and Josh would have.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, they had
Yeah.
to leave. That was so sad.
Yeah,
But-
it's just awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting because as viewers, we had no idea if it would be Will and Kira or Olivia and Corey. Like we did not know. And then there was so much stir online about, Bailey and Jeremy that we thought maybe even they had a chance. So as viewers, like we really didn't know.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I think also like because we could watch the show earlier, like
Yeah.
I saw the dynamics prior, and I just know like Corey, Corey and Olivia both struggled.
And I feel like we, got to see them really progress. And I feel like it is a happy ending, even though it's probably not the ending people were predicting or, from 2 weeks ago or whatnot. Like it definitely fizzled out in an interesting way. But I feel like everybody's in a good spot for majority.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I want to know who were your best friends in the villa.
Oh, mine was
Maybe name
Jeremy.
like 3.
Jeremy, Corey, and Jeremy, Corey. Me and Will were pretty close too, but definitely Jeremy, for sure. That was my ace.
For me, it's so hard because like I literally adore every woman that walked in that door, like it's crazy. They're all so welcoming to me. I think Ellie and Bailey, we had a bond because we went in together. And so, I got really close with them. But literally all the girls, like I just adore them. So it's hard for me to choose favorites.
Okay, that's fair.
What about a good like memory from each of you before we
Favorite
wrap it up?
memory,
Yeah,
yeah.
like a good memory. Could be like anything, like a funny moment or something that might not have made it to camera or,
I pray to God that Big Cat Energy got on the show.
It did. Charlie, we were going to ask you to meow.
Oh man.
You got to do it at the
It
end of
was
the interview.
so
It's mandatory.
funny.
Yeah, that was they got us good with that those pranks. I feel like the guys were so gullible, because we just
Oh yeah, like
Yeah,
they
we're so
just had
gullible.
no idea ever.
Well, that's
So
always
funny.
a question when I watch you guys do it. Like it's so obvious to us because we
Yeah.
know, but
Yeah.
I was like, do the guys really not know? Like they're doing the weirdest shit. Like what?
Even the prank on Jeremy and Corey, that was the funniest thing ever. They were so excited, and everyone helped us put it together. It was like it just flowed so well. It was perfect. That was a really good prank.
Oh,
was
and
great.
Jeremy was like, America loves me. That made it. That
Oh,
definitely
no,
made it.
poor
It was
Jeremy.
We were
funny.
like, oh my gosh.
It was so great.
Do you guys have
can we
another
get
favorite
the
memory?
cat noise?
Yeah, meow.
Did you guys see when I dared him to be a cat and he was falling on the ground?
Yes, the
Yes.
iPhone footage was unbelievable.
It was hilarious.
Unbelievable.
Everyone deserves to see that. It just
Yeah.
really is very special.
Yeah, they
I
made
think
me
it was on. It was very special to all of us. We were so happy to see Charlie like speak. To be honest, Charlie, we love you. But like,
they really made me look like I didn't talk at all.
Yeah, you were a little lost
Yeah.
in the.
they have
Oh,
a
wow.
beach
In the-
hut.
in
They
the
have a clip
island.
of you, and it's like I
It's
think it's
so
Matthew
funny.
Hoffman like calling you out for not speaking, and you're talking, and then you just like stop, and you're just. They obviously cut it to like make it look like you were just sitting there like
Wow,
They're like,
that's-
for
so
like a minute.
Charlie claims he's like not boring and that he does speak. And then you're sitting there and you go, do I have to say something? And we were like, it's very funny. It's very funny.
They did you dirty. It's
Yeah,
so
it's
No,
really
but he
funny
did not
though.
talk when I first got there. I'm sorry. You didn't speak much at all to anyone. I didn't see you speaking. You like opened up so much more toward the end.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Well, maybe I feel like around the guys, like obviously I would talk, but like when I was around everybody else, you kind of like again, you trying to find like where you fit in at and just but then too, like a lot of times, I mean, y'all been there, you're in your head a lot of times too. Like when you have a lot that you're dealing with and trying to process on just how to do everything, a lot of times you find yourself just dazing off. And so yeah, sometimes they might catch you whenever you're not really talking. But
Yeah.
honestly, after everything was over with, But damn, that's crazy. That really made me look like I ain't had no personality. That's great.
No, but we did
No,
get to
we knew
see
it
you
was
towards
there.
the end. Like
Yeah.
this past week, we got to see you kind of shine through, and it all
Yeah.
started to make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's great.
I just want to know, like, final thoughts. What were you feeling going through the finale?
Oh my God, that was such a good day.
Yeah.
I loved the finale day and just like watching everyone, experience like their feelings and their love for each other. And,
Yeah.
it was just so beautiful. I definitely cried. Watching Corey like break down a little bit, I think that's what sparked my tears. And then we all jumped in the pool. I went on the slide and I'm like so afraid of heights. So that was a big thing for me, and I had so much fun. So
I think for me, just listening to her speech, because I was a little nervous about what she would say, because like during that whole time, she would express that she likes me, but just hearing her express is really how she felt. So like for her to to hear her speech and stuff like that, to me that kind of said a lot, and it was good to hear that she was actually not actually, but she was able to say those words. You know what I mean? And even just saying my speech, like
yours was so nice.
Yeah,
I cheered up for that one too.
yeah, I'm real
Soft.
when I talk, and when I'm passionate about something, I feel like I let it be known. And my goal was to kind of make her cry a little bit. So
We like a
yeah.
heartfelt moment.
Yeah, we do.
We also loved your dress.
Yes.
It
Oh
was
my gosh,
so
you
stunning. The
look
gold. It
stunning.
was my favorite one, and I think yours too. Like we loved it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like it's something that I wouldn't normally wear. Obviously, where would I wear that? But like it fit. It just I loved the fit and everything. That's a great dress. Felt like adult prom.
Yes. It was
We've
absolutely
been saying that on our
stunning.
recaps.
Yeah. Charlie, you looked great too. Your tux was my favorite. I did say that.
Yeah,
I got scared for a moment because they showed you without the undershirt on, and I was like, "Oh no, he's not doing tux, no shirt." And then it was on in the next scene, but I was like, "Uh-oh."
Yeah, I probably would have went out there like that, a little spice, a little bit.
Oh
You do have all the crazy print shirts. I have enjoyed watching all of those.
Yeah, fashion is real big for me, so hey, I like to be different. So
Yeah, we love it. It
Yeah,
was
we'd
so
love
great
to
to
see
watch.
that.
And we're so happy you guys came on here and took time to speak with us today. It was really nice.
Thank you so much.
You guys are great.
Thank you for having
You're
us.
great.
So for everybody watching, we will link their info down below if you want to follow them,
Yes.
check them out, and hear, kind of updates of where they end up
Where
going and what
they're
ends up
at.
happening.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
Meow.
Meow.
Amazing.